pray, God, that you'll be with this body of commissioners, Lord, as they gather and take care of business. And I pray, God, that you'll continue to not only bless our nation, but our county. For in your Son, Jesus Christ's name, I pray. Amen.
Amen. Commissioner Bowman, please.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Keith Parker.
Here.
Tim Bowman. Greg Brooks.
Here.
Danny Carver. Danny Davis.
Here.
Mush Davis.
Here.
Christie Harden. Here. Kelly Morgan. Here. John Kipinger.
Here.
Samantha Trent.
We have a quorum established. This is September 21st, 2023. First item on the agenda is the appointment of chair and legislative body. The floor is open for nominations. Do I have any nominations for chair?
I nominate Christie Harden.
I have a nomination from Danny Carver to nominate Christie Harden for chair. As y'all know, nominations do not require a second. Are there any other nominations? Any discussion? Roll call.
Keith Parker.
Yes.
Shane Bowman.
Yes.
Greg Brooks.
Yes.
Danny Carver.
Yes.
Debbie Davis.
Yes.
Mush Davis.
Yes.
Christie Harden. Kelly Morgan. John Kipinger.
Yes.
And Samantha Trent. Yes.
I think it's one time we toss with the chair. Did I not, Debbie? Christie has the chair.
All right, so the next order of business is appointment of vice chair.
I nominate Keith Walsh.
I second. Why am I second that? It don't.
I was just figuring you're the one that said it.
It's been a long 2 days.
We have any other nominations? Roll call. Keith Parker.
Pass.
Shane Bowman.
Yes.
Greg Brooks.
Yes.
Danny Carver.
Yes.
Debbie Davis.
Yes.
Mush Davis.
Yes.
Christie Harden. Yes. Kelly Morgan. Yes. John Kipinger.
Yes.
And Samantha Trent. Yes.
Keith, I've just done that to make sure you know how much I think.
I appreciate it.
All right, next, is the approval of the minutes from the previous meeting.
Motion to
approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call. Keith Parker.
Yes.
Shane Bowman.
Yes.
Greg Brooks.
Yes.
Danny Carver.
Yes.
Debbie Davis.
Yes.
Mush Davis.
Yes.
Christie Harden. Yes. Kelly Morgan. Yes. John Kipinger.
Yes.
Yes. All right, and then the approval of the reports of offices. Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call. Keith Parker.
Yes.
Shane Bowman.
Yes.
Greg Brooks.
Yes.
Danny Carver.
Yes.
Debbie Davis.
Yes.
Mush Davis.
Yes.
Christie Harden. Yes. Kelly Morgan. Yes. John Kipinger.
Yes.
Samantha Trent. Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. That passes. I forgot to announce that. All right, next is our approval of notaries. We have, Travis Stewart. We have a Karina Walker, Tammy Ware, and a Paris Adams. Motion to approve these four.
Second.
Any discussion? All right, roll call. Keith Parker.
Yes.
Shane Bowman.
Yes.
Greg Brooks.
Yes.
Danny Carver.
Yes.
Debbie Davis.
Yes.
Mush Davis.
Yes.
Christie Harden. Yes. Kelly Morgan.
Yes.
John Kipinger.
Yes.
Samantha Trent. Yes. That passes. We're gonna move the budget amendments to the bottom because we've got a bid that, is gonna be affecting one of the amendments. So the next will be the County Private Act. Commissioner Pickerington.
Before we read that, I'll just give you a quick overview. The comptroller has pounded us time and time again. They wrote us a return. Several of you are familiar, some are very familiar with that write-up. It's been daunting years. This last time, he added a few words in his summary as to his auditors continually writing us up and us not doing anything about it. And threshold meeting at the end. The road department, I sat in on that meeting, which is the one where they don't actually write everything up to let you know what's coming. They're getting pretty serious about it. Couple of options. We can actually adopt the 57 Act that was partially adopted and bring the road department under the County 101 finance. We can do it. It's never been done, and it will cost us a little more money apparently. Number two, and what they kind of recommend is go with the 81 Act. And we didn't go with 57. I doubt anybody's want to go with that if you really look at it. It's an option. Or we can try this, which is a private act to go back to general law. And I threw everything in it with the kitchen sink, and that's because I couldn't get the kitchen sink to fit.
Cheese and mud.
Can we like table it?
I have no problem with it being tabled. I have no problem with it being dissected, rewrote.
I think we need to sit down and explain it to them because they don't, I mean, we've struggled with the budget. I think that we need to sit down and explain to them because they don't.
Well, I asked, like, when we were in Basin, if, when it comes to this point, if we could sit down and have everybody come and sit down and talk, because the new ones don't understand how we operate, or even, I'm sure none of them have seen the original documents that was ever even sent.
And I have no problem with that. I was sitting there and I started writing, and I had done some research, had some on my lap that week. So I just went ahead and wrote the private act to go back to general. Like I said, I was gonna make sure, and this is my first time it's not being chaired, so I was gonna introduce it. I don't care if it's set aside, dissected, or thrown away. If somebody's got a better idea, hey.
I mean, I think we need to involve, I mean, whatever we do of how we're setting ourselves up needs to at least go to some legal
That's fine.
attorney to overlook what we write, because that's how we've gotten messes in the past, by not letting them just glance it over.
I have no problem with that.
Yeah, and let's sit down and just explain it.
So do we need to have like a work type
Yeah.
I
meeting?
think we need to have a workshop, and just that way, everybody understands how we were initially set up, and understands how we operate. I think
Instead of
that
us
would
just
be-
blindly just being like, yeah, let's just do it.
Now, there has been, there has been some questions asked by, from CTAS. The comptroller's office, in general, the only answer that's come back is, well, y'all are operating under general law anyway, even though that you've adopted the 57, therefore, you're gonna get wrote up. So that's just something to keep in mind. We apparently are operating under pretty much general law as is. Is Catrice here?
Yeah.
Is that the, I mean,
That's pretty much what Mr. Reaver from Comptroller's office said.
yes, and,
But he wasn't sure about this private act either.
Well, and that's when I talked to the comptroller's office, they were not even sure that we have, there's authority to even do this,
Right.
to cover it. So I think that we need to cover all bases.
Well, do we need to
I
have
agree.
one of those people present also?
Well, and that's what I asked from the state's perspective.
Yeah.
But a lot of those are out of the office this week. So my person said she would call me next week,
Okay.
and then I'll relay that message.
So do we wanna try to set that up for the next meeting?
I would think so.
Do we wanna do 6 o'clock, do we wanna do 6:30, what's?
if you wanna tackle that, you might want to see
That night.
they're a separate night.
But that was
It's gonna
a
be-
separate night.
It's gonna be a
That's-
separate-
Yeah. I
Doable.
think that later.
Now,
We can
I
just
will-
kind of play it by ear, and then we can let the papers know, and then they can put it in there, in the
Okay.
paper, and we can put it on the doors.
Absolutely.
Now, there is one other thing I'm gonna point out, and we can waive the reading if y'all want to. I mean,
Yeah.
if you want to set off anyway. But in the resolution itself, and I quoted back the findings of the comptroller, they state that there's two ways of doing this. And one of them is by private act. Therefore, the authority to do a private act, and this is one thing that me and Mr. Reader kind of differ on from time to time, a private act is a state law for the county, where a public act is a state law for all counties. So if the state passes a private act, it is law for that county. That, I don't think that's ever been questioned. Nor does the state code by Public Act state that you cannot do a private act. It just does not give you the avenue specifically to do a private act.
You can look at the 81 and it gives you specific
It does.
instructions of how to do it, but it
It
doesn't
does.
on the other side of the how we operate, so.
But you cannot go into the 57, upgrade to the 81, and then opt out under the 81 clause. I done tried that.
Well, the 81, we don't even need to even think about.
It's rough. If you don't like the 57,
It's hard when you work it. That's
no.
hard.
Okay, so that's all right if you will take it.
Table it, table it.
No problem.
Table.
Thank you.
Consider it tabled. Okay, next, biosolids resolution, Mr. Pittman.
Really?
Yep,
Okay,
And
not a
it's not in the
resolution. This is-
packet.
No, it's an update, and here's why.
okay,
Myself and County Executive Hatchett were invited to a special call meeting over in Pikeville. And, correct me if I was wrong, the contact over there was Mayor Gregory. Okay. So we went and sat on some nice Baptist slat seats. They were great for, what, 2.5, 3 hours?
2.5, 3 hour meeting.
And we found out a couple things. Number one, we are not the only county that has problems with roads and people just pulling their houses in the middle of the road that it's supposed to be a road. We found that out real quick. Second of all, they invited us over there for the purpose of biosolids. They wanted us to join in with them on a private act to strengthen their private act. I have called them twice. They have not got their private act approved. Their private act that they voted on was fairly simple. The state sets what you can put on referendum ballots. Their private act allowed this to be added to that list, biosolids use. Yes or no, to the question that you can put on a referendum ballot. And then let the people decide for themselves if they wanted to allow biosolids in the county. It sounded like there'd be about an 80% vote to do away with biosolids in our county, and I'm figuring it'd be about the same here, maybe more. The thing is, they do not have the private act done yet. And that's the reason we don't have a copy of it here tonight, but that's what they're working on, a private act to set by referendum the question to the people in the county.
But we got time to, if they pass it nice in January, to get it on our ballot in March.
They're supposed to, yes. If they got it done in Nashville that quick. It will go straight to committee and then to State Attorney General for legal, and then come back to the committee, and they'll have to move it out to committee to General Assembly. Robbie, did I miss anything on that?
No.
It was a long meeting.
Yes, it was real long, and then, Van Buren County Mayor Michael Brady has also contacted me. They had their meeting a couple weeks ago, and they had asked as well. They're gonna piggyback off of Bledsoe County and work together, and they were wanting to make sure that we would all kind of pass the same private act and let it go from there and band together.
Have more senators and
And
representatives in
Bledsoe
different
County.
areas
Can you have
at
those
the same
people
time.
contact me?
Pardon?
Can you have those people contact me, because I didn't know any of this, and me and Monica have been working on some stuff.
Like I said, that was that special call with, you know, and on the way I got invited was Greg.
Well, the
said-
reason I didn't make it is because I was 4 hours from the place, and I couldn't make it for work, but, I mean, no one communicated this, so, I mean, it would've been nice if someone would've communicated this, especially, you know, me getting this in my pocket, knowing. But, you know, with that injunction and stuff that we passed, we've been in contact with some other people, and, there was some steps that needs to be taken before we do that, before it goes to that point, because the people that we've talked to, we gotta have steps that, or it's just gonna be blown off. So, I mean, if these people wanna contact us, we can get them into those people too.
And that was another thing that was brought up in the Bledsoe County meeting. They had fought this, was it 8 years ago, John?
Their
Yes.
citizens have been calling me, that's how bad it is.
And, well, they'd actually fought this approximately 8 years ago, and they had got it all the way to the full of a private act. But at that time, this is what was stated in their meeting, that Hamilton County stepped in and said, look, if y'all quit what you're doing, we will stop bringing that in. And it stopped. But since then, since I guess all the eating establishments, and it was,
But I mean, you know, we need to have some communication on that, especially because we've been working so hard on it. It would've been nice.
I think there's been an incident or two, Mason Elementary, about somebody over here related to that.
Oh, it smells, it stinks. We can't even go outside.
They said kids running around. They said some days they put their shirts over their noses just out on the playground, and some days they're even doing it sitting in the classroom. I mean, that's just,
That's unacceptable.
yeah, that's,
you know, and like John said, it was a late night. If I'm not mistaken, I dropped John off that night at 1 o'clock, and I got home about 15 after 1 from Leslie.
But yeah, if we want to, if you want to decide those, get those going.
And it's like John said, and Greg told me the other day, and I even called him last week and asked him if he had their private act, and he said no, that they did not have it. But as soon as he does have it, he would send that on.
Well, we did talk to that mayor too, about it as well. I mean, we just gotta take different steps, I guess. We can't just go full blast and say, hey, we're just gonna do it.
That's all I had on that, just an update on where their private act stood, and the fact they do want us to, pass the same thing they do with more centers across the state in Houston City.
All right, library. And second measure.
Okay.
You asked me last time, I didn't know. You asked me what the hour was.
What the hour
I didn't
was.
know. You better ask me.
I absolutely.
I've done my homework.
She's ready.
Yeah, I'm ready. Just wanted to present to you an update on our library activities for the summer. The summer reading program this year was about exploring different countries around the world. You see some of our pictures, and then on the other side, some of our activities. We had, for example, in our reading challenge, we had 34 participants who read 1,942 books, with our winners there for that. And then on the side, our programs, our summer reading programs, we had 26, we hosted 26 events between the two libraries. 222 adults, 532 children, and then 756 total participants there. So, yeah, we can work on our, we can do that.
Too busy on the.
Yeah. And so, you have a calendar there of our upcoming events. Some of them have already occurred, but we've been instituting things like adult craft nights, family game nights, to get adults and children to come to the library. And, John, what you asking questions?
I was wondering when are the libraries open?
When are the libraries open? The libraries are open 6 days a week.
For what times?
At 10 o'clock every morning.
Every
John,
morning?
yes, and every morning. On Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, they stay open till 7, and on Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, they stay open till 4. So, thank you for asking that
I was
question.
wondering, it's important information.
Yes, it was. I didn't know it last time, so I made sure he asked me this time. I had that all set up in case you didn't know. Anything else? Any questions from any of you? I think, of course, the library is a good use of our taxes. So, appreciate what you do. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, the bid for the Ocoee Fire Hall, Mr. Hatcher.
Yes, ma'am. This went out in RFP form, and there were 3 bids submitted to the Ocoee Fire Hall. There was a late bid turned in to the Ocoee Fire Hall. It was noted, signed off on, and left into that file that will always be there. So the first bid that came in for the Ocoee Fire Hall is David Price for a total of $50,300 with an additional cost of concrete and warming of $3,500. SLS for $65,843. HL Construction at $93,268.
$43,000 here.
Yes. And this would get everything in the Ocoee Fire Hall with the exception of heat, to my knowledge. It should get our power, the water, roughing in of the sewer lines, toilets, and if so desired, there's one of those bids that will take care of the concrete for an additional $3,500.
Make a motion to accept David Price. Second. That's concrete. Yeah, concrete too.
What was your motion, I'm sorry?
Accept this David Price.
Do we have any discussion on this? He's made the motion for the price for, adding the $3,500.
Yeah.
Any discussion? All right. Roll call.
Keith Parker.
Yes.
Shane Bowman. Greg Brooks.
Yes.
Danny Carver.
Yes.
Debbie Davis.
Yes.
Mush Davis.
Yes.
Christie Harden. Shelley Morgan.
Yes.
Samantha Trent.
Let's see,
I know everybody in parts of the fourth district and parts of the second district will be glad to get this finished, because their ISO rating's fixing to go up. They haven't got notice, it's one that lives over 4 miles from the fire hall.
Yep.
So they'll be happy to see this finally after 6 or 7 years get finished.
all right, lane clearing at South Oak.
Patrice did ask one question, so can kind of ask him where we talk about maybe pulling that money from, so we can get your budget in next month. You know, just, you put out county general, or if you had another fund, if you.
They know where to bring
Just where to
them in from.
bring them in on something.
$39,000.
Yeah. So just think about it, just let us know, so that way we can just let you know if you have a fund, if you want to bring it out. No, we won't have it tonight, it'll be once you get.
How much left in the John Hole Foundation?
Estimated 35.
The internet money, it's me.
All right, so South Oak.
So, South Polk dump site, and multiple bids turned in. Maxwell Construction, Maxwell Excavating was $10,750. HL Construction was $125,209.
Did they think they wanted to pay for the freaking land or
Yeah.
what?
We buy it.
No, yes, you did hear that right.
Big,
Now that's ridiculous.
I
We
agree.
didn't want the bids to compare.
Connect Bid and Dirt Guy, and I'll get the paper, all this information if it comes in. Dirt Guys was a bid of $71,980. Big Woody's Tree Service was $42,800. And Tim Reimer Construction was $36,500.
Your lowest was what, Robert?
$10,750 by Maxwell Excavating.
All right, so, motion from Chad for the $10,750. Do we have a second? Any other discussion?
Be sure he can.
That was my
That
question.
price. That's gonna be my.
When he says
He's
it,
pretty confident, okay.
they lose money.
Apparently he doesn't live far from.
Correct, that was another thing that was brought up. You know, Chad's just a hop and a jump down the road from there, so,
Very hard.
yes, he don't have far to go at all.
All right, if no other discussion,
$123.54. If you notice on the other side that they have included the pressure test of the entire system, they have to, when you hook pipes up. So they have included a $55 per hour per man plus material, as well as if they have to come and call back for any leaks outside of their perimeter of work they've done. So whenever they pressurize the system, right now I know that we have 4 separate leaks on the system. 3 are on the header pipe three are on the header pipe outside of the bathroom. But this is replacing the pipe from the boiler room, the header pipeline, not the condensate, the header pipeline from the boiler room through the north side, back in, and stopping over at the old clerk's office where there is a union that will allow a clean transition. So if you so choose to go with them, I would just ask as well that have the authority to go ahead and let them come if there's any more work to be done. And, we can bring that up in the budget amendment for a little more money for the $55 per hour for labor and materials that needs to be done. Cause it's gonna leak some more, I promise you.
Did they
somewhere.
say how long it would take them to complete it?
They thought like that they would start, because like I said, the line right now does have some big leaks over this area, so they would start from here. They're gonna need 2 days approximately in Jackie's office because they have to tear all that down and then build it back. They were talking like a 3-4 week time period, if I'm not mistaken, with what they were looking at from start to finish. But if we, so we'll be on record, if we do have to close down the clerk's office, we will be sure to announce it out. And that way it's not shut down any longer than possible.
That won't take
I just think
any
so,
time.
it'll be done by the time the heat is ready to,
Yeah.
Well,
hopefully.
that's how come they're gonna start where the big leaks are right now, so they can get this part done before they get into
Now,
that.
is this the outfit that's been doing some repairs on it on and off, or
No,
no?
ma'am, no, this is a total different one. The outfit, as you said, has been doing the repairs, they just didn't feel confident in working on the 4-inch line, which is what starts off on this pipe, is 4-inch.
So, do we know any, I mean,
Yes,
do
it
you,
will. Like, can you put that in note, Joe? I closed down in the Benton office, but the Ducktown office does not open. It's connected, okay? That's insane on that.
is this, I mean, as far as you know, this seems to be a reputable
Yes.
company
they're-
that, I
yes,
mean.
Yes, ma'am, they're very reputable. They walk through, hour and a half, 2 hours, I'd say, that we spent with them going through as they done all the measurements and looked at this bit.
Okay,
Yeah, I think they're right.
Don't really have a lot to compare to on that, but it's, like you said, it's better than $1 million.
Absolutely.
That throw down.
Even though that's not
Yes.
addressing the whole
Right.
issue, but.
yeah.
Do you think it's gonna be a lot more coming on top of this, you think?
I don't. Like I said, the majority of the leaks prior years have been on the condensate line on this side. Now they're starting on this header line that's in Jackie's office. And that's where we get a lot of these leaks at. But this is taking new header line and then also replacing the 3/4 inch and or 1/2 inch that goes to the radiator. So this is taking care of a lot of that. If you go down to Jackie's office, for instance, on that line, it looked like a 3-year-old had a heyday playing Legos. I mean, there's it bends and twists, and it's not clean at all. So this will be cleaning all that up. But initially, I was thinking 150 to 175,000 for what we were looking to do. So when I seen this bid come in, I was shocked.
So when they pressurize this stuff, is it gonna be ugly? Do you think it's gonna be ugly? Are we gonna have it like? you know-
Won't be no uglier than it is every morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I got you.
It's like-
I got you.
It's like, during winter time, it's like an Easter egg hunt. Jake will call and tell me we've got another leak, so.
So we have lots of duct tape right there.
So at certain, when we get this part done in time, they may can just do an inspection.
Correct.
Everything
So,
at some point in time and say, this is additional
yes, so
issues we found.
the way that it works is you have a main line and you have condensate line. The condensate line is new from outside of the boiler all the way around. Everything in Jackie's office was done years ago, so the condensate line for the most part is new. It's just the header line now that's gonna be rebuilt.
And there's only one known leak outside of the job scope.
Correct.
That would be covered by $55.
Per hour to come back. But like Chrissy said, so if they fire it up and there's a leak over in this corner, no, that's not in the job scope. The job scope is for the boiler to here, but we don't know until we fire it back up. We know these leaks were here when we shut it down this past winter.
Especially that one room outside the
Yeah.
bathroom. If y'all wanna look at what it, go look in that room. Yeah, it's bad.
And you know, the bathroom just got remodeled from the flooding, so.
Are you asking for a motion to accept the bid plus?
Yes, I would like to have a motion to accept the bid of the $50,323.54. And then if you all wanted to set a limit for the $55 an hour, just so I had something to go off of, or if you want me to pull that out of county buildings, I'm fine. It's just if I come back with a budget amendment for some money, just understand that
How much
now
how much you got in county buildings right now?
15, 20, 15, 20, somewhere around in there currently.
Does that sound right? Yes.
Sounds-
15, I think.
I make the motion to accept the bid with up to 2,000 additional for the $55 an hour.
Second.
Extension work.
Second.
Any other discussion? All right, roll call.
Keith Parker.
Yes.
Shane Bowman.
Yes.
Greg Brooks.
Yes.
Danny Carver.
Yes.
Debbie Davis.
Yes.
mush Davis.
Yes.
Christie Harden. Yes. Kelly Morgan.
Yes.
John Kipinger.
Yes.
All right, let's go on with the SUV for the sheriff's department.
We only had one bid came in from Brennan. This is who we purchased vehicles before in the past. This is for one Ford Interceptor, 2023 gray in color. The price per unit is $45,200. $700 delivery fee for a total of $45,900.
That money will be coming from the capital cost fund, correct? I mean, that's the expenditure.
Be coming from one.
The car fund.
Drug
the,
fund.
I thought that was coming from that.
No, I'm sorry, yes, I'm sorry.
Car fund.
That's right, yes, I'm sorry.
Make a motion to approve.
You say this is coming out of car fund?
This big, yeah.
I forgot he had to, I'm sorry, my fault.
We got a motion, anybody will second it?
Second.
Any other discussion? Roll call.
Keith Parker.
Yes.
Shane Bowman.
Yes.
Greg Brooks.
Yes.
Danny Carver.
Yes.
Debbie Davis.
Yes.
mush Davis.
Yes.
Christie Harden.
Yes.
Kelly Morgan.
Yes.
John Kipinger.
Yes.
Samantha Trent.
Yes. Do we have a budget amendment for that?
It's already in their budget.
It's gonna be for the rifles, that budget is for the rifles. All right, then for the, rifles.
Bids for rifles, came in with multiple bids. Benton shooter supply, $13,522.60. IWI, $20,160. Troy for $30,772. AEA in proposal one of $35,000 and proposal two of $22,260.
One question on bed shooters, it did meet the bid specs.
Yes.
Because every one of them spec a little bit, and then there's a little bit different price. I'm just asking, so it met all specs.
Make a motion to approve the shooters.
Second it.
Any other discussion? Roll call.
Keith Parker.
Yes.
Shane Bowman.
Yes.
Greg Brooks.
Yes.
Danny Carver.
Yes.
Debbie Davis.
Yes.
mush Davis.
Yes.
Christie Harden. Yes. Kelly Morgan.
Yes.
John Kipinger.
Yes.
All right, let's go back up to the budget amendments. We've got, number one, 122,39,000, proposed expenditure of the funds, $4,000
Yes. Christie Harden. Yes. Kelly Morgan.
Yes.
John Kipinger.
Yes.
Samantha Trent.
Yes.
All right, the next one is Fund 131. It's for the state aid bridge, on 46410 to 68,705. We've also got, 46420 into 68,713 for 3,710,674. And then we've got a 441110 investment income of $5 to the 39,000 fund balance for $5.
That's all within the, that's all within
That's that grant.
strictly the grant, so it's all in the term.
Roy Jones. Motion? What's that look like?
I'm just,
I mean, I would assume they're gonna be working on the bridge, and bridge construction and highway construction is why they're moving their bridge money and highway money
bringing it out for expenditure.
for expenses.
For the,
Because on some of that stuff, I know you have to do it on some of it before you get reimbursed. I don't know if that's what this is, because he is moving money, but he's got it in his revenue
Did
to
they
move
call anybody?
expenses.
we need to,
Tell
hold on to this.
Why is
Get
it?
some clarification.
He told y'all my office, but he just said he was starting to clean up his budget, that's all he said. He was letting me know he turned an amendment in, I told him that his fund didn't affect me,
And there might have been an issue where he's already spent it because he did the work, and now he's trying to put that back in his budget. So,
he showed me the fund.
you know,
Starting to clean up his budget.
so my thoughts is there's only 72 that's hitting his fund balance. The rest of the over $3 million he already has sitting in his revenue, so,
Probably grant money came in already.
yeah.
Motion to approve both.
Second.
Any other discussion? Roll call.
Steve Parker. James Bowman. Greg Brooks.
Yes.
Andy Carter.
Yes.
Debbie Davis.
Yes.
mush Davis.
Yes.
Christie Harden.
Yes.
Kelly Morgan.
Yes.
John Kipinger.
Yes.
Samantha Trent.
Yes. 101, general fund. We've got 39,000 undesignated fund balance of $700 going into 53,00331. General sessions for 700. We've got 46,120 for the airport maintenance grant, 31,199.75. Going into 58,220.702 for the same amount. 31,199.75, and then we've got, 8,801.10 from 101.3900 going into 101.54.110, 196, from the sheriff's department. 9, 10, and 11.
So what was the line expenditure of sheriff's? What line for sheriff's?
And it's on the in-service.
That's his in-service, yeah.
That's kind of,
He said he'd already talked to you guys about that.
he had, there was some on ammunition too, that's why I was trying to figure out. Motion to approve.
Got a motion to approve, do we have?
Do you know what that's on there?
I'm sorry?
Do you know what that's on there?
ammunition, man.
That is.
It's ammunition and, our taser cartridges.
That's, okay.
That's what the combined total will be.
Thank you.
That's one that we discussed during budget meetings.
It's in my second, okay. Any other discussion? All right.
I make a motion.
Yeah, we go. You're behind me. All right, roll call.
Keith Parker.
Yes.
Shane Bowman.
Yes.
Greg Brooks.
Yes.
Danny Carver.
Yes.
Debbie Davis.
Yes.
Mush Davis.
Yes.
Christie Harden.
Yes.
Kelly Morgan. Yes. John Kipinger.
Yes.
Samantha Trent.
Yes. All right, and, Patrice brought us a report on the debt obligation.
I shall take it out, there's no vote needed or
Just acknowledge that we got it.
just acknowledge.
All right. Mr. Patrick, do you want to, tell us about the, letter? Do we need to do any action on it, do you need to read it?
No, it's the same thing.
Yes.
Same thing, okay. All right. At this time, Ms. Debbie Davis has asked us to suspend the rules.
For the lady from Sharp is here tonight, and, we didn't make contact in enough time for me to get it put on. And she is here just to give us, there's no obligations or anything, you know, going on right now. This is just, I think everybody in this county knows that we have a dog problem. We have an inhumane dog problem. There is a lot of people that is wanting shelters for our county. Now, I'm gonna let Sherry explain this because that's why I've got her here, because I do not want to start in and it be all wrong. But, go ahead, Sherry, but, yeah, okay, I've got it. But anyway, it's about Sharp, so.
We're not voting on that.
No,
We
we
just-
gotta suspend the
We
rules.
don't have to.
Okay.
We
You
just
do it in an announcement,
Yeah.
okay.
All right,
Okay,
Sherry.
so anyway, so I'm gonna let Sherry take the floor and, let us kind of explain, the grants that they're trying to work on, land that has been donated, and all of the above, so go for it.
I'm Sherry Capsule, I'm the sheriff for Charlotte. Charlotte, have been here since a lot of you new commissioners were elected. This is Lisa, our treasurer, she's gonna hand this out for reading material. Just so you know, Sharp, we are a 501c3. I believe we are the only 501c3 rescue in the county. There is, as you know, no shelter and no animal control. We're a small group, but we do a lot. There's probably about 12 of us. Most of us have day jobs, so we do this out as a passion and as a need and a service to the county. All our money comes from donations, $1 at a time, or adoptions. Like we'll be at the Cheap Show Saturday, next week we'll be in Cleveland at Tractor Supply. We're always somewhere trying to sell t-shirts, raise money, whatever we can do. You've seen us at the stoplight collecting money. It is a problem. We are, cannot handle all the calls we get, let alone all the people that call and say, can you come get my dog? I don't want it anymore. The amount of animals that are dumped in this county is out of control. I've had a lot of people, I went to the vet office and tried to talk to them. They're like, well, we don't have a animal problem in Benton. And I was like, yes, you do. I can tell you the last 55 dogs we took in, 47% were from Benton, 7% Copper Hill, 16% Delano, 1% Ocoee, 16% Old Fort, and 11% Charlottetown. So it is everywhere. And that number changes. I can tell you about 6 years ago, we did a clay case. We did not call the paper or make it public. We took 52 animals from one house. And that's our money raising to take these animals in rough shape, okay? So what we've done is we've had a lot of people call us all the time everywhere we go. We need a shelter, we need a shelter. Usually we direct them to you and say, talk to your county commissioner. You know, that's a county issue. We are in a lot of groups that are nationwide, and we go to seminars and stuff, and we've talked to a lot of people and done a lot of research. And this group called Shelter Finders of America, we've contacted. And they will do a study for Polk County. And I highlighted the proposed services in yellow and the needs assessment is phase one. And basically they go through and they come in here and look at the county. We have to fill out a 300-page paper form. They're architects, they're shelter builders that have done this across the country. They actually built the new Humane Society in Chattanooga. There's a good reference from them on that. They've done $40 million shelters down to buildings that are retrofitted to work 15,000 square feet. So it's not like I'm saying, hey, this is a fancy company gonna come in and want all this money. It's not. They look at it. So they come in the county and they look at your demographics, both people and animals. They look at your building space, what they recommend. You know, there's a lot of metrics out there that tell you how many people you have, how many rural city, what's the average household, how many dogs, how many cats, so forth. They know all that. I've been in a lot of classes, they teach you that, you can figure it out, what the population, let alone what the other county people come and dump here. That's another day, another problem. They go through and basically recommend a site. So they'll look at water, sewer, internet, recommend a site. They will recommend sewer. If you don't have sewer, they do build shelters that are on well and septic. They can do that. So that opens up a lot of the county for looking for some land for doing that. They'll teach us best practices. Also, like what materials. I know I had a conversation with Debbie. Well, can't you just refit any building? That's not typically true. Like your concrete has to be sealed. You need parvo. Everybody's heard of parvo, a deadly disease that kills probably 95% of any dog that gets parvo dies. So parvo can live in the concrete if it's not sealed, if you can't clean it. So when you build a building, you want to seal the walls and the floors so that you can clean it and keep disease out of your shelters or building or whatever. Even if it's a small 12 by 12, you need to think of these things. Air conditioning is a big thing. You want so many turns of air every cubic feet in your shelter. So what they do is they go through and they come in and do the study. They also recommend a staff, a size, what you need, a budget, and they basically give you all this data. I would love for the county to pay for this, $7,500. I would love the county to even pay half. And if the county was willing to pay half and we pay half, we would give you the data. And you could have it for your constituents, look at it. And at the same time, I'm wondering if you guys would be willing to have a committee. I understand you could have a committee for animals or dogs or whatever you guys want to call it. We would love to participate. Then when we get this data back, study it, look at it. I know there's probably not a hotel or any shelter in Russell County. We may look at it and go further. But if we do it, it's going to be a private. It's not going to be a county shelter. And that's going to upset a lot of people because we're not just going to be opening the doors, taking in everybody's dog. But we've got to do something. I mean, just 2 weeks ago, we had 6 puppies dumped in Turtletown right on the highway. I mean, little 4-week-old puppies just running in traffic. Then you go, dogs dumped in the bag of food. Then you come down here in Denton, I've got 7 dogs running in the street, puppies that are 6 weeks old. It's constant. You would not believe the amount of phone calls, emails, Facebook, it's just all day. I had the sheriff call me today. Hey, I got people over for it, left. These dogs are here. What are we doing? They just left and moved. It's constant.
Well, everybody wants to think that this is not a county problem.
Right.
That is our problem, that they want to think it's not a county problem.
Yeah.
And it is.
Absolutely.
And I get it. We've got so many needs that we can't even, we can't cover them all. I get all of that. But we really need to really think hard on this. All of us commissioners, all of the constituents, they need to let us know what they feel about it, how they feel about it, if any county money needs to go into this. It's a very traumatizing event when you have to you and your little kids are in a car and they've got to see all these animals on the side of the roads, starving to death, nowhere for them to go, and it will never be cured. Because we got too many sorry people, and I'm sorry, that is exactly what they are. They won't get them spayed, they won't feed them, they won't do nothing, but just drag them home and then poof, we're through with them in a week or two. So it's a crisis, it truly is.
We've issued over 2,000 vouchers to Polk County. We only do Polk County. We
Yeah.
turn away Bryan County all day. 2,000 vouchers today for free. This year we did a copay, $20 to get your dog spayed and neutered. You can't beat that.
No.
It's over $100 to get your dog spayed
Yeah.
and neutered and a free
Right.
rabies shot. I mean, we've done over 700 adoptions. The 700 dogs we've taken in.
Well, do you feel like that if and if, because I mean, I'm only speaking for myself,
Right.
and if it don't go through, then I'm gonna be digging up everything I can get ahead. But anyway, do you feel like that if this assessment was worth, you know, if we even come up with 3,500,
Yeah.
that like we kind of talked about,
Right.
and that if the assessment comes through, do you feel like that if the county does not back anything, which don't count on it, I'm just telling you, don't count on it. Been here all my freaking life and I don't see it happening, but, you know, because we gotta give too much to a meth head and we can't take care of anything else. So, but anyway, don't get me started. Do you feel like though, that if, that were to go into play, that you will be able to get a grant and go forward with it in any way, form, or fashion?
I think grants are hard to come by. We've already met with a financial group out of Cleveland that is in Atlanta, and what they do is they help you fundraise and they invest your money. They did the downtown group, they did the Cleveland Walkway, that whole group. There's like 3 or 4 groups in that area they do. So basically, we would sign on for them, and any money we raise, and they help you raise money, is invested. What it also does, it allows, so, you know, Debbie, if you wanted to give your farm to us when you die, you could go to her and say, I don't want anybody to know I'm donating
I might
your
do
farm.
that, thank you for suggesting.
Yeah, so, I mean, we can do that. I thought about it first, I don't have kids, I
Yeah,
thought about it.
well, my kids,
Yeah.
you know, they don't even know what cow is.
Lisa Reed had a young lady passed away in bed.
And I definitely like dogs better than I do my kids most of the time,
Right.
so there you go.
But they'll take that money and invest it till we get our goal to build.
Yeah, but anyway, I guess what I'm trying to find out, Sherry, is if you have any chance of making this happen, if out of the kindness of this commission's hearts, if they were to see fit to give the $3,500.
Right.
I don't want to ask for $3,500 if we don't think there's a snowball's chance in wherever, it happened, you know, getting anything from it.
Right, well, one thing, you're gonna get the study, each one.
Well, the study, I get it, and
Right.
the study's not gonna put a dog in a house.
No, but what it's gonna tell us is, you know, like I told the group, they may tell us Copper Hill is the best place to put a shelter.
Right,
And
and
we
I
don't
don't
live on this
care,
side of
I mean,
town.
I don't care where
And
it
they may
goes.
say, hey, Farmer is the best place for
Right.
your shelter. You know,
Right.
we're gonna look at that and go, okay,
Yeah.
we need to rethink this, because these guys are experts. They do
Yeah.
it all across the country, they're gonna look at it and say, you know, here's what to do. And they're gonna, what I've asked them is, I know, no doubt, I went to a seminar, county just like this, almost exactly. They did not do any spay and neuter, and they just went and built a shelter.
Yeah.
They had 800 dogs the first week
Yeah,
for a 25-dog shelter. That's how many people want to bring their dogs.
yeah,
So they recommended you spay and neuter like we do.
yeah.
And what I would do is I told these guys, we need to start, we always have about 30 dogs in care
Yeah.
in foster homes.
Well, and you know, and that's what tires me up, just like you said a while ago, even the sheriff called.
Yeah.
That's what tires me up.
Yeah.
You all are the first people that everybody wants to call when there is a problem. But yet, the money, you have to beg, bribe, and plead blood to get it.
And we're also
Now,
the
that's
first
what
to get
upsets
bashed
me, you know.
when we can't take a dog. We're
Yeah.
the first to be
Right.
told, Sharp doesn't do anything, Sharp can't help us,
Yeah.
but they don't realize that we have 30 dogs right now.
Right, and you only have so many foster parents and homes that they can go to. So, you know, and my biggest concern is these dogs that is on the road, like you said, where they're standing there with 4 or 5 little baby pups, you know, and your kids gotta go by and you say, Mom, yeah, and you got, it's torment. And, but you know, because you can't take when somebody wants to get rid of their dog for no reason other than, no, I just don't like it today, then you can't take all of those.
Right.
But, you know, but anyway, I know everybody's wanting to get out here tonight, so I'm gonna
just
shut
saying, you know,
up.
I run a business in Cleveland.
Yeah,
I think, Robbie, you were there. And I was on the industrial board 2 years. I want facts when I make a decision to vote on something. This would be giving you guys a packet of facts that says, oh, Connie, this is what you really need, and maybe you're never gonna do it. Maybe we can do it, maybe we can do it with your help down the road. There's options. We talked to a group that said they built it privately, and then they went to like the sheriff and the city, like you would go to Copper Hill, Ducktown, Denton, the county, and say, all right, if the sheriff calls and said, we can take this dog, it's $100 fee or something like that.
yeah,
Where you guys would be responsible, but you would contribute, and you would be allotted so many animals. There's a lot of ideas, that's why I suggest maybe a committee on it,
yeah.
where we can start doing it. There's ways to raise money off of this.
Right.
But we've got to start somewhere,
Yeah.
and just throwing our
Yeah,
finger
but,
out.
I mean, Facebook literally stays littered.
Yes.
It stays littered with animal situation. And there's a lot of good, kind-hearted people that are dog lovers like me that are on there. So I feel like reaching out to these people and trying to let everybody know, you know, just everything that we can let them know will definitely be a plus.
Yep.
And it's a start somewhere. And so, you know, but we will, you know, like I say, everybody's got the paper on it now. So let's let everybody meditate on it, talk to everybody that they want to talk to.
Call me if you want to talk
Yeah.
about it, and we're open.
Right.
We have meetings every month. We
Yeah.
get a Cold Coffee Joint. We're there every month, the second Tuesday at 6:30. We try to get people to come and get invested. I do think if we had ability, we would get more volunteers.
Yeah.
And we did have one man approach us about donating land, but he wants to see the study and he wants to see what the drawing is for a building before he'll donate land.
Right. Then that's the trouble.
And I don't want
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Right.
But I appreciate you guys listening, and it's,
Okay. And
anything you
thank
can do
you.
to help, we appreciate it.
All right. We appreciate you.
Yes. I talked to Jason Smith, that works for ETC. I also sent him to you. I know that he went to that, or did that whole meeting in Knoxville or whatever for that new grant that's coming up, the CPF and the TNECD. I know that they're applying for that. I don't know if you guys have internet, because there's not like, well, can we please get into these meetings, are, because these people would love to come. I did a recommendation letter for ETC to get part of that grant, so we can start working on that, because, charter don't have whole agreements. ETC works with Tri-State. This stuff can go up fast if they was to get a grant, and I would love to help them as much as we can, even if it's just a little bit. They've been good to me, they've been good to our county, they donated to our Boys and Girls Club. So I feel like we need to, at least, you know, help them as much as we can. If we can have an internet meeting, like, just so these people can, like, Jason would do anything that he can to make sure that we can help. I mean, like I said, I already wrote a recommendation letter to him. If anybody else wants to reach out, write it for them. They're fixing to turn in, they have to have it, their application is about October 5th. So their attorneys are working on getting that, but I would like for us to at least communicate with them. Yes. So if you guys wanna do that, I got his email, I got all his information, but they're looking to get some of that grant that's just come out. And they've been in contact in Knoxville and all of that, so, I mean, they're huge. And it would be, I mean, they got cable, broadband, everything that we need up there. And like I said, they already got this whole agreement with Tri-State. That stuff can go up fast. I mean, most of our county out there has it, but I mean, when I worked on that grant before, Tumbling Creek is, so that may not have it. I would hope with their phone service too, and, I mean, they could run off Wi-Fi. So, I mean, that's just something that, if you guys don't care to have like an internet meeting, so I can bring in here. But if you guys wanna write recommendation letters, I can get you his email, he would be so appreciative of it.
And they service all district three.
Oh, yeah. Most everybody has it. I still have that, email where like the lines don't run. But for the most part they do, and they've already, I mean, with Tri-State, they don't even have to go with their attorneys or anything, they just start hooking it. And it would give people TV, I mean, they quit using satellite and have cable. I mean, it would just help our community a lot. And it would help our kids to use broadband, because a lot of people are still using dial-up that don't have it, or trying to use FuseNet, or they deserve that fast
It
internet that
stopped
most of us
about
have.
100 feet before it got to my house.
Yeah, I mean, I know these people probably want to watch Netflix too. So, I mean, I do have like,
What their neighbor has.
I have all this contact information if you guys want.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't forget to remember.
They would just be so appreciative of it. I wrote it on this week, but if you guys don't care, I'll take all of it.
Christie, can I ask, you need to think about something?
Yes.
Ms. Fairman, could you possibly think and ponder upon sending out an email and maybe asking if there's any certain committees that any of us might want
Yes,
to be
that
on?
was gonna be my next thing.
Because there is certain, we all have different strengths,
Yeah.
is what I'm saying. So maybe send that out and let us think about it.
That was actually what I was gonna do.
Thank
Because,
you.
I want everybody to be where their strengths are. And I don't know exactly where everybody.
Thank you.
Absolutely, yes. Any other
Nice dog.
Well, I did figure that out.
Your animal control.
You're gonna be the head of the animal committee.
Everybody thinks I already am. I get about 5 a week that
Yeah, I
dog.
was gonna say, and I started dumping chickens at my house, because they know I have chickens. I've got roosters and chickens.
Don't forget about the rodeo coming up. Also, don't forget about the Jeep show this weekend at Sugarloaf. Those are two big events that'll be here before you know it.
You got Best Arts and Heritage.
Best Arts and Heritage has truck shows.
Saying there's,
It's coming up.
Remember all of these?
and everybody remember there's a benefit.
Mommy,
And Saturday,
Mommy.
Rogers.
Good chicken. That's Mark's chicken.
And also the 4-H poultry sales Saturday morning, 10 o'clock show barn. If you need some good laying bullets, go out there and help the 4-H.